We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
They broke the glass? Everybody stay down! Get down!
This is America, and this is what's happening right now. The president needs to call it off.
It's only a matter of time, Justice.
Hello everyone, it's Queen VIII back to you with another video. This video pertains to the recent comments made by the twice impeached one-term grifter, as he stated that 1-6 was his biggest crowd he's ever seen. To the families of Brian Sicknick, Gunther, Hashida, DeFreytag, Jeffery Smith, and Howard Liebengood, my continued support during this difficult time. Approximately 140 officers were injured during the 1-6 domestic terrorist attack, which has had an effect on many. If you are someone that you know is experiencing signs of depression, there is help, and I will leave links in the comments and description below to hotlines and organizations that are willing to help. It is okay not to be okay. So let's get into this video. The twice impeached one-term grifter Donald Trump was at a recent rally where he stated that the biggest crowd he's attracted has been 1-6. This quote-unquote crowd were domestic terrorists that caused damage to the Capitol building. These domestic terrorists left feces and urine within the Capitol building. Persons from the Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, persons within the military, law enforcement, and yes, electoral officials on the local, state, and federal levels aided in the attempted coup and the domestic terrorist attack of 2021. The twice impeached one-term grifter had aid from within the White House and outside the White House to plot this domestic terrorist attack, all because he wanted 11,780 votes, all because states rejected him in record-breaking numbers. So he weaponized white grievances to cause a domestic terrorist attack on the American people and on American democracy. You will watch this brief clip and I will be back with more commentary.
You know the biggest crowd I've ever seen? January 6th. And you never hear that. It was the biggest, and they were there largely to protest a corrupt and rigged and stolen election. It's the biggest crowd, and you never hear that. They said, how was the call? Did you feel intimidated? No, he made a perfect call. He thanked me. He congratulated me for getting elected. He didn't do anything wrong, so I remember that. But we made perhaps an even more perfect call to the Secretary of State of Georgia, which is my right. And in fact, the call was so perfect that the many lawyers, we had like 7 or 8 lawyers on the call on both sides, and other people on the call never expressed even the slightest bit of anger or outrage at what I said. They didn't say, that's horrible. That's a horrible thing you said. We must hang up immediately because we cannot understand that. We had many people on the call. I assume the call was taped. And I guess there were 6, 7, or 8 lawyers on the call. There was no protest. There was no one saying, how dare you say such a thing? You know why? Because it was a perfect call. It was only long after that that the subject was broached. Months later, they said, oh, he made a call. Very fortunately, it was on tape. If there were a problem, they would have, you know what? They would have gone absolutely crazy. They would have gone absolutely crazy, and they would have come after me. But the phone was hung up, and everybody was happy. In fact, they agreed to meet. Let's meet again soon. Because all we were doing was protesting a fake and dirty and rigged election. That's all we were doing.
For the umpteenth time, you lost the 2020 elections because you could not handle the job. Persons were dying on a daily basis due to your negligence and due to your ego. You lost fair and square because persons were not willing to allow you to bring America to its knees. You conspired with persons on the federal, state, and local levels for an attempted coup because you could not handle a loss. In addition, we have a current Scottish spouse in this attempted coup, sending emails to legislators to overturning the 2020 elections. The guardians of Putin have made it perfectly clear that they will take every democracy which we hold dear, from Roe v. Wade, and if they gain more control, they will continue to strip these democracies in which we hold dear from choosing who we want to marry, from choosing who we want to engage with consensual activities with, from obtaining contraceptives, from going to the schools of our choices, from selecting the homes of our choices, from Social Security, etc., etc., etc. America, we have less than 30 days to ensure that our democracy is heading in the right direction. I will leave in the description and comments below for registration deadlines for each state. If your state allows early voting, please take advantage. If your state allows absentee ballot voting, please take advantage. If your vote and my vote was not a factor, why are the guardians of Putin fighting so hard to deny our democracy as we know it? Please do not sit on the sidelines, because elections have consequences. Elections matter. Please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.